Voices in my head.
Rod, if you don't leave, I swear I will kill you.
Let me help you. Take this gun and shoot me because I'm not leaving until I am done.
You think I'm joking? Leave by the count of 3 or I will shoot you.
Even if you count to 100, I will still be here.
1, 2, 3.
Date, September 12th, 13th, and 14th. Venue, National Theatre. Time, Fridays at 7 p.m., Saturdays at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m., Sundays at 1 p.m., 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Rate, 300 Ghana cedis. Available via Callback short code *365*535# or on the Rover app or at all usual outlets. For inquiries, call 050-554-6010. WhatsApp 050-554-6030. Sponsors, Koba and Gino Jollof Mix. Partners, National Theatre, Joy FM, Roverman Productions. 17 years of consistency and excellence. Roverman Productions. Be the difference.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ghana Connect. Well, it's been one of those weeks again. We've had outrageous demands, some have described, of the electricity company of Ghana, Ghana Water, and the utilities who are demanding really huge increment in tariff for the services they produce and they give us in terms of electricity and in terms of water. There are so many that have said that, listen, ECG, Ghana Water Company Limited, NEDCO, GRIDCO, all these institutions just do not deserve the amount of money they're asking for. And some of these tariff proposals that have come in, if they are approved, could ultimately lead to you paying perhaps double of what you pay now. And as PURC prepare and consider the request of these utility players, tonight on Ghana Connect, we ask, is the service you receive from these institutions justified? Does it justify the demands they are making? And what exactly do you make of the demand that says that if you do not pay up this much, then perhaps you're not going to get a kind of service? Ghana Water Company Limited, they've been talking about Galamsey and how bad it is affecting their operation.
Cost of ECG is higher than the sales that will make.
We are having inadequate tariff because of the pollution that is ongoing, and our cost of production has to go up.
As the chairman of the Energy Committee, I will not approve anything ECG will bring to us.
You mean what? You mean zero?
Zero.
Absolutely, I'm 100% with my chairman.
We'll connect right after these messages.
Momo. It has made life happen in lots of good ways.
Mr. Kwanzaa, Mr. Insurance claim no. It
has put together beautiful weddings. It has filled the bellies of boys at their favorite watchy joint.
My guy, stop. Who they chop cancel these days?
It has made millions of businesses possible.
Mr. Kalono, we are back in business.
With just a few taps, money moves faster, easier, and safer. Momo understands the weight of your trust in us. We continuously enhance security with features like self-paying research to help you protect your money. Momo will only call you with 0244 300,000. No MTN or Momo staff will call or ask for your PIN or one-time password. Do not transfer funds to anyone whose identity you have not verified. Do not approve any prompts you have not initiated. Momo, still Munsaka.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kindle Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first port of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office,
Takweje, Osu near the Osu Cemetery, Temania Community 4, Takoradi opposite Vijay Mays Plaza, Cape Coast, University Bookshop, Bookshop, Spintex Road near Absa Bank, Atomic Centerpoint Mall, Winneba University Campus, KNUST, the University Bookshop, and Santasi in Kumasi. You can also visit our shop online, www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Hurry while stock lasts. For further inquiries, contact us on 050-162-0810 or 0302-764-101. Email info@kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, where quality and affordability is assured. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you clapping? Are you giving God the glory? Hallelujah! Every day you wake up shouting, my business is not moving. Customers are not coming. But look, my brother, my sister, who are you deceiving? Have you smiled today? Do you have the confidence to smile? Your face alone is chasing people away. Yeah! We all know that the problem is not a spiritual problem. The problem is a dental problem. She was saying, use Pepsodent charcoal toothpaste to remove yellow. Somebody shout amen.
Craft your smile with Pepsodent charcoal. It removes stains and whitens teeth. This advert is FDA approved.
The luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone. Yeah, the luckiest. Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah. Money we define every day and night. Mama, dada keep on hustling for the family. The luckiest. Last dance, everyone to hash. You can win some cash. You can be the luckiest with 1 CD. Luckiest with 5,000. The luckiest. The teacher got the market woman. You can be the luckiest. Oh, the luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone. You can be the luckiest. The luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone. Stars everyone to hush. Luck is everywhere. Luck is everywhere. Oh, tell me, are you feeling lucky? Because I'm feeling lucky. Because I'm feeling like the ultimate. That's how we go win. If I win, you win. You could be the luckiest. Saswabo, Sasso, Kumenton Preco. Sasso, Miss Kumenton Preco. Edrana Tramin, yeah, how can see so spray. Every mosquito starting run away. Oh, come on, tonton preco. Sasso, miss you come on, tonton preco. Oh, come on, tonton preco. Sasso, come tonton preco. Nani shamne die, demo strongko.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back to Ghana Connect.
Approve our tariff so that we can enhance customer service delivery and also ensure UCG can continue to provide reliable and quality electricity for Ghana. I'm sure all of you will agree with me that in the past 2 or 3 months, the electricity in the southern sector has been fairly stable. please approve our tariff of 225%. Thank you.
We are having the inadequate tariff because of the pollution that is ongoing, and our cost of production has to go up.
And this pollution is down only to Galamsey?
Largely to Galamsey. What we may end up doing is that we may shut down some of the plants, and we will not be able to serve the people in those areas.
I've even asked the Ghana Water, this plant must not produce any water. If we even see clean water, we will not be sure of the content.
What we've discovered is that from upstream, where the INC flows from, Enum Apepum is where the water has been blocked and people are doing illegal mining there, and that has destroyed the water.
As the chairman of the Energy Committee, I will not approve anything ECG will bring to us.
You mean zero?
Zero.
Absolutely, I'm 100% with my chairman. Me, I have a radical solution to this. They should be paying more for their water than the people in Sogakope, where the water is not that polluted. So we need to now start applying the polluter paying principle to water that we consume.
Economy. So a lot of varied views on this conversation, and we have some brilliant minds connecting with us on the show tonight to get to the bottom of it. And also, you can send us your messages 055-1111-997, 055-1111-997. I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Winfred Koleteba, the Health Facilities Regulatory Agency in Ghana, Health HEFRA CEO, connecting with us on Zoom. Doc, it's good to have you connect with us. Hello, Doc, if you can unmute. Yes, Doc, I can hear you now. It's good to have you connect with us.
Okay, all right, yeah, thank you and good evening.
Definitely. And then in studio, I have Achulu Abdul Baki. He's a youth activist and is connected with us in studio. Please bring the mic closer to you, yes, and I hope you are doing great.
Definitely.
Great.
By God's grace.
It's good to have you on the show. And then Rose Blankson is an assistant registrar at the University of Cape Coast. Madam Rose Blankson, it's good to have you again. Connect with us.
It's good to have you too. Good evening.
Brilliant. So let me start from you. I mean, what did you make of the demands? I mean, some of them asking 200%, 250%. Of course, we know that this is a cycle. Sometimes they ask for that. They don't get quite like that. But that they were asking for that amount alone. I wonder how you received it.
Well, good evening to our cherished listeners and viewers out there, and good evening to you. I think the request, I don't want to say the demand, but the request is outrageous. I don't know what informed that choice and what informed the 200%. If someone is mining gold illegally and we can do something about it and we are not doing it, why should the poor Ghanaian who is not mining the gold, who is not benefiting directly, positively from the mine or the mining of that gold, suffer the penalty? Since when did government increase workers' pay even up to 30%? Not to talk of 50%, and you are asking for 200% increment in utility tariffs. I mean, it's a non-starter, ab initio. They should go and come back again.
Actually, I wonder if you agree with Madame Rose Blankson.
Most definitely. Every well-meaning Ghanaian at this critical moment would definitely agree with what Madame Blankson just said. Because if the root cause of this challenge we are facing today is galamsey or illegal mining, why then don't we deal with that canker? Let's deal with the root cause. And I believe the percentage they are proposing is so outrageous, because if this is implemented, is going to have a huge impact on the Ghanaian people. You and I are going to suffer these consequences. Just as we were preaching for the state of emergency prior to the elections, I don't know what has changed. Most definitely, we could bring that back to life again. Let's declare a state of emergency on all mining activities and see the outcome. If probably we do that and we see a positive results, then we can go back to the legal frame of mining again and making sure people are being are being regulated within the right frame of mining to prevent all this canker. Because if you listen clearly to the reason why they are demanding for the 281% tariff increment, it just boils down to the illegal mining and the effect it's having on the water bodies, which they will have to purify for us. And mind you, what they are talking about is also very important because water is life, and every Ghanaian takes water. So if it's polluted, it's definitely going to also have consequences on the consumer.
Definitely, and Doc, this is why I bring you in, because I should have just ended on a note of health, but I want to take your comments, your views on the kind of demands that have been made. When you heard about it, what did you think?
All right, thank you very much. So, as a health expert and a medical doctor, let me also approach it from two ways. So, one, like my other colleague said, water is essential for life. Water is life. We cannot say that if you cannot afford water, then you should not live. Because you see, once you cannot afford water or you cannot drink water, it comes with so many things. Our whole body, the body will compose about 60% like fluid or water. If you get dehydrated or you are not able to drink water, what happens is that most of your organs can shut down. Your kidneys can shut down. A lot of processes in your body cannot go on. Apart from that, and because it's essential, human beings will find any means to drink some water. So they will end up drinking contaminated water or polluted water. That brings with it diseases, both gastrointestinal, this typhoid, cholera, and then the metals, the heavy metals, they can lead to cancers and a whole kidney disease and the rest. So getting clean water.
It appears I've lost Doc there, who was making a point about the water situation. And of course, there's a big conversation ongoing currently about Galamsey. Ghana Water Company Limited is citing that. So, Madam Rose Blanc, this is why I bring you back in. And at some point, we'll segue the conversation back to ECG, who are also making quite a very huge demand. You look at Ghana Water Company, they don't have any enforcement to fight Galamsey. And in that interview with Evan Spencer, the Ghana Water Company spokesperson talks about how, because of illegal mining, it is costing them an arms and leg to be able to purify the water and send it to our homes. And so they are making a demand. It's fair, is it not? Because they don't have to fight Galamsey. That's the job of the government and the security services, which they are clearly failing on. But they have to provide water for you and I, safe quality drinking water. And they say if you give us this much, that's how you can get. We are looking at a public health issue here also, don't you think?
Well, we are. But yes, indeed, they don't fight Galamsey, but they have a stake. And so as stakeholders, they can also bring themselves on board fighting Galamsey. They are everywhere in the country. Every nooks and crannies of the country, you find Ghana Water. I mean, there are meter readers who are on contract, go around every home that has Ghana Water meter. They go to every company that is on the national grid for Ghana Water or water supply. So they are able to go everywhere. And so they can support and assist and get involved in the fight against Galamsey and all illegal activities that pollute our water body and therefore bring some sort of burden on the key producer of water in the country. So honestly, they have no excuse saying they are not the fighters of Galamsey. They can involve themselves. And I bet you, should they involve themselves, they will have the support that they need. They would have the support of the nation, they will have the support of the people, and they will be able to fight and succeed. I mean, you see, it's kind of a lazy man's approach. So we should let people destroy our water bodies. We should allow people to kill that resource, that irrenewable resource. And then to what end? How long are we going to keep increasing tariffs for the irresponsible actions of just a few Ghanaians and a few politicians who are behind these irresponsible citizens, destroying our water bodies and destroying our sources of safe drinking water, safe water for domestic and commercial use? How long are we going to sit and watch them giving excuses and throwing our hands up in the air and saying, well, we've done what we can and there is nothing more to do? The laws must bite. Politicians must stop politicizing everything that has to do with the nations and the citizenry. There are times when we need to be seen and indeed do the right thing. Arrests, regulations, people who flout regulations must be brought to book, and everyone must see them as being brought to book. And it's only when that happens that we wouldn't be overburdened. I mean, I always talk about and think about the people in the countryside who are not, in Ghana, people living in countryside are not the rich people, unlike in Europe and elsewhere, where if you are living at the countryside, where we call in Ghana as village, it's rich people who live in villages and countryside. In Ghana, it's the poor that live there. So if you are increasing even this one, the current rate, how many people are able to fulfill their bill obligations at the end of the month? And now we are going to increase, not even 10% or 15%, not 50, not 100, but 215 or 225. Yeah. I mean, we need to be responsible as a nation and stop overburdening the average Ghanaian, the poor citizen who doesn't really benefit from all these irresponsibilities of the few.
So we of course we should clarify that some of the increase or some of the tariff proposals that have come in from ACG, Ghana Water, but some of them is on specific components. Okay, so that component in the pricing mechanism is what they're asking for, sometimes 200% and all that. Papani, we've heard from Madam Rose, we've heard from Achulo, we've heard from the HEFRA CEO, and they say that, listen, you cannot put your inefficiencies on us. If the government can't fight Galamsey, why should people now be paying more and more? Because everybody has been warning that this day was coming where you are going to struggle to treat your water. And here we are now. Look at the increase that people are asking for. The next day we know we have to be importing water.
I think that what Ghana Water Company and the other utility companies didn't want to say, but meant to say by some of the things they were saying, was that Mr. President fix Galamsey, especially for Ghana Water Company. If you listen to all the interviews that we are privy to, there's one where the same gentleman who played his voice, he told Evans Mensah that they are now using 4 times the same amount of bags to treat the same quantity of water. It only means, and even to extent that they've had to change the chemicals used for the treatment. Again, that same gentleman later in the evening tells Evans that the amount of money that they are pumping into checking your machines, your equipment that are treating these plants has also more than quadrupled in that same period. It's a subtle message definitely to the first gentleman of Ghana, fix Galamsey. Central region, the shut down water pump, 10 districts are going to be affected. The regional minister says they should go and use borehole. It's clear, but it's something I'm sure they are afraid to say. For ECG, we know that a major problem is illegal connections. So many people using air conditioners. Some people are sharing meters with people, and one of the wire is definitely not from the main terminal. They're passing somewhere, and nobody is reporting. Some of them may be your neighbors, some of them may be my neighbors, but we are not reporting. So I think that ECG and Ghana Water Company definitely had the message, but they fell short of saying what the reality really was. They know for a fact that if every for ECG, for instance, if for every electricity that VRA gives them and they sell and they manage to recoup that, I don't think that this conversation ever will come up. So they must fix that. And that's the only point at which I will agree with anybody that says that ECG should fix their inefficiencies. But some of the inefficiencies is us. Kwaku, Energy Commission says that you need a certified electrician to wire your house. I don't know how many people have actually looked for the certification of the electrician that comes to your house. In fact, most of them are actually looking for some community electrician to just do the thing. Then they always, oh, can't you do anything about this? Oh, my meter is running too fast. Can't you do anything about it? What do you want them to do about it? Eventually, this is what will happen. We will have to pay for the inefficiencies of a few people or the corrupt sort of attitude of a few people. Same for water. If you're walking by the street and you found the best pipe, would you have reported to Ghana Water Company? No. But you go and see people who have.
Was it 2 days ago that I saw such a big bust on the motorway? The kind of water that.
Did you report it?
I mean, I think I wasn't on the motorway. I saw a video on social media. I mean,
yeah, but still, you should have just gone ahead and tagged Ghana Water Company on Twitter or whatever you saw it. Because once they're able to fix that, in fact, when you see that, you know what happens? People go and bring their bowls and their kuku nakaka from their homes. They come and almost be saline. And what do? Everybody wants to fetch free water and take it home. What do? We all have to share the burden of this loss at the end of the day. And that's what will happen. That Papa, I have never used Ghana Water Company before. I always buy water. When I was kidding, we used to go and fetch water for somebody's home. So me, mine is pay as you go. But at the end of the day, there's a component that will come to me, and I have to pay for the inefficiencies of Ghana Water Company, because many people are trying to circumvent the thing. Or there's a major problem that President John Mahama says that he's still reluctant to take the major decision.
Collins, please come and put on the AC for Papa here. That guy is sweating like a fish out of the sea. So let me go to the Hefra CEO and then I'll come to you actually, because I see you have a lot to say. Yeah. So you were making a point before the line drop, but around the table there seems to be a consensus that, listen, ECG's inefficiencies, Ghana Water inefficiencies have to be fixed. If it's Galamsey, you need to do what you got to do. Not have him come and put the burden on the ordinary Ghanaian that is already burdened.
Yes, thank you, and apologies. I think my network went off. So, like I was saying, somebody will have to pay for it. Let me say, if today we decide that, okay, we are stopping Galamsey, which is something that we should be doing, the water is already polluted. We still need to treat that water. It will take probably 2 or 3 years for the water to clear. So in this way, what do we do? What I am saying is that we shouldn't make it expensive to the extent that the ordinary person will not be able to afford clean water, because that will also have health implications and will be losing lives. So somebody will have to pay. And I think that is where the discussion will have to go to. So one, we need to stop the source of the pollution, but whatever the decision is, even if we stop it today, the water is still polluted and something must be done. We need extra money to treat it. So where do we stand now? As a country, we need to all decide and see how can we fund it. Should we put it on central government? Should we say that, yes, a few people might have caused it, but the truth is that now the water is polluted. And that even if we stop everything today, we still have to deal with the effect of what we think a few people have done. It has happened already. What can we do? I think as citizens, we need to all come to the table and decide. Definitely Ghana Water, we've all seen the water. They need more money to purify the water. No. So let's talk about how we can all help to get it done. But I also think that the burden must not be put on the ordinary Ghanaian.
Actually, 280%, I mean, Ghana Water, 280% in water bill. So if you pay, I don't know, what the guys who are very good at maths, imagine you pay, if you pay 1 cedi to the very basic maths, and let's say it was approved, that would take you to 280 at the point. So if you pay 10 cedis, it takes you 2,800. That's a lot. I mean, actually,
really, it only means 2.8 times of what you actually currently.
Basis points instead of.
There's no basis point, but essentially, so 100% increment would have been times 1. You get it, but a 200% would have meant times 2. So 280% means times 2.8. So if you are paying 1 cedi now, you should be paying 2 cedis, 80 pesos.
I mean, I'm not taking someone who got C5 in math. I'm not taking math.
C5?
Yes. Let me hear from you.
Yeah, so I think I'll just pick it from where Doc ended. As it stands now, we have to deal with the canker. We have to deal with the issue. We have to get it solved. But what we are saying, what the Ghanaian people are saying is that the percentage is outrageous. They should go reconsider their decision and come back to the drawing table. As we are dealing with the problem that has already been caused, let's also deal with Galamsey. Let's make sure we end Galamsey now. I think the president made a promise to the Ghanaian people, which is to repeal the LI 2462 to ban all forms of mining in our forest reserves, and also he made a lot of pledge to deal with Galamsey. So far so good. I think we are not seeing any positive impact in the promises he gave us. As it stands now, if you go on grounds, last week I remember I was in part of the Nchroboase, Amenfi Central and the rest. If you get there, you get to know that the Galamsey has tripled. Today it has gotten to its peak. So please, let's all come on board. Let's engage. Let's not politicize it. Let's look at the holistic view, the impact it's having on us, not only as our unborn generation that are yet to come, and let's make sure we get the issue of Galamsey solved once and for all.
I mean, that's quite interesting. And I was listening to the president speak on Wednesday,
yes,
when the president talked about how they've asked the police to withdraw. And that was a bit strange to me because, to be very honest, illegal mining is a law enforcement problem. The Ghana Police Service is the guys in charge of maintaining law and order within the territory.
Definitely.
And so why are police people doing their job and the government will tell them to come back because they are allegedly doing something, they have to wait for some 9 months, which is not a statutory or constitutional body of the Ghana Police. So I thought it was very strange. And 8 months down the line, it's clear that the government just doesn't have a clue what they can do to deal with the Galamsey issue, and it's going on and on and on and on, and the situation is worsening. This is a government that promised state of emergency, and now they are circling around it, skirting, talking about things and how we can do this now, we can do that. I mean, of course, the inconsistencies are being reported. But let's pivot a little bit to electricity because, I mean, so Madam Rose, if you look at the ECG's requests and other things that they are making, and Papani has given us a bit of a background in terms of that, and we know specifically that it's on some components. One will say that, listen, the ECG says, listen, the power situation has stabilized for quite some time now, and we've always known that the Doomso and everything was a financial problem. So now that the problem has been stabilized a little bit, or the solution is working, pumping some more resources directed at ECG, let them fix the issues, and then you can get stable supply for as long as it is possible.
Well, they shouldn't tie stable supply or unstable supply to increase in tariffs. The wastage in electricity leaves much to be desired. I mean, people have connected illegally, and the few that are kind enough to accept prepaid metering are the ones that are overburdened with the fees for electricity consumption. You go to the countryside again, and in Ghana, there are people who have been put on the national grid that are not paying electricity, and a few Ghanaians that have decided to be citizens are the ones that are overburdened. ECG should do their homework, get their act together, and when that is done, and they come to us as citizens to support them improve the services they are rendering to us, we gladly will oblige them. But until that is done, I beg to differ on their demand for increment in tariffs. I wouldn't support that demand, honestly, because we are already overburdened. So the bills we pay, I mean, it's not even up to a year since they increased tariffs? What were the conditions set for the increments in tariffs? And why have they come back again, making new demands? They said because there was a lot of leakages and all that. Now they have even taken the responsibility of selling prepaid credit from their offices. They franchised them. And all of that is not working. Then it's a big disappointment to us as Ghanaians.
Dr. Ban, so the consensus around the table seems to be like these institutions haven't done enough to justify the kind of demand that they're making. Do you think there are certain specific things the government can do, for instance, to try and bring the people on board? Because ultimately, these are the people we pay. And we don't quite get a sense that we're getting value for money, one. But also the problems for which reason we are being asked to pay this much. It's not our problem. It's our problem, all of us collectively, I mean. But it's not ours to fix.
Yes. Thank you very much. So I also think that, yes, inefficiencies are in the system. Like my sister said, there are people who are using power and they are not paying. All the leakages have to be sealed. I believe that when this government took over, there was a lot of debt in the energy sector. And you saw how His Excellency has dealt with it. Right now, Dunso is almost a thing of the past. But there's still more work to be done. So I think that, yes, we may need to bring in more resources to make sure that we get stable power supply. I also know that the PURC will review the proposal, and I know they will take into consideration the current economic situation and they come out with the best tariffs. But I also think that as Ghanaians, we will have to all come together and see how we can solve these issues once and for all.
At 0551111997, please do send us your WhatsApp message. I want to know what you think. Are you a business owner? What kind of impact will this have on your business? Please do send us a message, 0551111997, and I'm going to read it for you. Actually,
I think ECG is slapping a proposal of 225%
on a specific component of
which is a distribution service charge, which is as a result of their inefficiency to deal with power theft and then fixing some 40 meters. But I think somewhere May, down the lane to June, a levy was implemented. One Ghana Cedi levy was implemented, which was classified as a petroleum levy, which was passed in Parliament on the 3rd June and then implemented on the 16th of July, where we were made to believe part of that levy will be used to service some of these debts. We just woke up and we are hearing a proposal of 225% on the distribution service charge of ECG. What we have to say is their percentages are so outrageous. And let me give you the mathematics of what this means. If you are purchasing 10 kilowatt of electricity now at 1.9 Ghana cedis, and then this proposal is being implemented, meaning you are going to purchase the same 10 kilowatt of electricity at 6.1 Ghana cedis, a difference of 4.2 Ghana cedis. That is what we are talking about here. If you are purchasing electricity at 500 kilowatt, meaning if you used to buy it now at 95 Ghana cedis, you are going to buy, if it's been implemented, you are going to buy it at 305 Ghana cedis, a difference of 210 Ghana cedis. That is the conversation we are having here this evening. And what we are telling ECG is that they should check themselves and then fix the problem they have over there. I think I saw some time back they introducing these smart meters, which would help us identify those who are looting or who are looting electricity from the country. How has that gone so far? They should revisit that. And then the 40 meters too is their responsibility, not our responsibility. And the 225%, as we said earlier, is outrageous. They should reconsider it and come back to the drawing table.
You know, Papani, just from where Achilo is ending off, and you did quite make some good point about how collectively we should be calling out some of those things if you see somebody stealing power. But you see, all of these things are offenses. They're paying a lot for public institutions to run well. If people are stealing power, what kind of measures is ECG putting in place? Instead of procuring meters that are really good for nothing.
Do you know I'll hold you? I hold you at the point that when airport company was put off, what was the sentiment by ordinary Ghanaians? Oh, how can our airport be in darkness? How can our
stay their ground?
No, but ECG was holding another state institution by the balls.
Yeah,
and people were begging that let them go.
Because Papani, when they cut your light in your house because you haven't paid, everybody in the area begs, they will not let you go.
If you've seen some of those people say, oh, put a human face to it. We beg you. Even if ECG doesn't yield, that same night, some community electrician will come and do the connection for you, and you sleep in light, and they'll add air conditioning to it. I'm saying, I'm not holding brief for ECG, that there's a lot that we feel they can do. Sometimes you even go to the ECG offices and they tell you that, oh, there's somebody around, and you find some people standing outside and they refer you to those people, and then you take those people home and they're the ones doing the legal for you. I get it. There's so many lapses within the ECG. In fact, if you look at the some of the things that we expect ECG to do, they haven't done or lived up to expectation. There are so many areas in schools, public offices, some of those huge companies that hold a lot of money. I mean, for companies that say some of the ceramics company, they use a lot of electricity. Some of those people are owing, and I think that they should begin to take charge without favor, no human face. Take your money and go. Now, the lapses is what we'll have to work on. But Kwaku, if you look at it really, ECG makes a point that essentially, no matter how, even if they take everybody's money today, that money will still not be enough to cover their losses. Why? They think that you're not paying for the generation and the distribution to your house. They think that whatever they get from VRA, you are not paying for the full cost of it, and that's where a major problem is. In fact, I've been trying to do some research around it, and it appears that Ghana is paying very, very, very low in terms of kilowatt per hour. Now, the bulk service, if VRA gives it to ECG, they give it to them around $0.037. 0.037. Compare that to a place like South Africa where it's 0.11. So it's almost 10 times what people in South Africa, for instance, are paying. We South Africa is paying 10 times what is Ghana. If you go to UK, for instance, so they're also paying about 0.357 kilowatt per hour. Again, Ghana is doing 0.037 kilowatt per hour. So maybe that makes the point for ECG that you and I may be paying far cheaper than they expect, and that PLC and government and everybody is intervening too much. Maybe people are complaining they cannot pay, but you never know. Those same people go and sit at the mall and buy the same ice cream or cocktail for outrageous amounts of money, but they think that they cannot pay electricity. They can't pay the electricity bills. Maybe we should try. What ECG I think is asking for at this point is meet me halfway, I beg you. Because at this point, I am shouldering too much. I am collapsing. And you hear that passionate opinion. He says that it's been raining, Okoku, but nobody complains that your light is going off. Who is clapping for ECG? Nobody. So essentially, that's what they're asking for. If we want to keep the lights on, let's squeeze ourselves and do this. But I agree. 200 and something is outrageous. My meter, I was going to say, I swear to God, Kwaku, I can tell you that my meter is overrunning. With one fridge and 3 lights and 2 fans, I'm paying more than that, more than necessary in a month.
I see a lot of complaints every now and then on social media about people talking about how they don't believe the kind of power they consume is actually commensurate to what they actually consume. So it's a brilliant point. But Doc, I do you accept the premise as we prepare to wind down this conversation? Do you accept the premise? And then I'll go to Madame Rose Blankson. Do you accept the premise that the citizens say that, listen, if you give us better service and we feel like, hey, you're doing your job well, if government is fighting galamsey well, and we have to pay more for, say, water because of reason A, B, C, or D, because the government is being really not doing its job and they are passing the back on to the consumer, we'll pay.
Yes. So I believe that everybody has a point. this government came to meet a huge debt in the energy sector. We've done so well to clear the debt and kept the lights on. But sometimes you get to a point to ask yourself, for how long can we put in those interventions? Because resources are not infinite. So we all have to come to the table. Like somebody said, maybe we can meet them halfway and put in some social protection measures for those who genuinely cannot pay. I think that is where the discussion should be going. Because if we don't do that, our water is turbid. The cost of treating it to make it pure and to make it safe has definitely gone up. So should we sit down and say, no, we cannot pay more? And so because of that, we should drink polluted water. The harm has been caused. I agree that we need to stop all the things that are causing the pollution. But at this point, we need to probably meet them halfway, or at least somewhere, so that we can get clean water and also get electricity on.
Yeah, but Ambrose Blankson, I mean, you are a public servant. Collins tells me that at UCC you're out of the best paid at UCC, and your money is around the Vice Chancellor's one. Of course, you agree that you pay a little bit more for some of these utilities and get out with a good footing. But I wonder what you make of the conversations that be made around the table.
Where did Collins get his?
Well, I don't know if he hacked into your pay slip or something.
I don't know where he got his statistics from, but I want Collins and any other person who thinks that staff of the university or the University of Cape Coast gets better salaries to know that all staff of the University of Cape Coast, including the Vice Chancellor and the Registrar, are on the government's payroll, and we are all on the single spine salary structure. So whatever any government official per their qualification is earning anywhere is what a University of Cape Coast staff, and for that matter, a staff of any university in Ghana, a public university in Ghana, is earning. Having said that, I would not support any sort of increment. I agree with Doctor on grounds of health implications. If we don't support them to improve the quality of water that run through our taps, we stand a risk of health risks. However, I think that we first need to have the state doing the right thing with our blessing, and then the state should cushion us. And after they've cushioned us by providing all the needed resources in terms of the alum, the chemicals that they use to purify the water that's run through our taps. After they've done that, or after the state has done that, then when we see that the Galamsey menace is improving, it has stopped or has improved, has reduced to its barest minimum, then we can go back to the discussion table and think about tariff increment. Until that is done, well, government must be ready, because once we accept any form of increment, we may be coming back for increment in our salaries, because these are the only sources from which we pay our bills, the sources from which we feed, and the sources from which we take care of our children and our dependents when they have to go to school, when they have to go to the hospital, and when they have to do any other thing.
So you think maybe because of course ECG and Ghana Water will demand that the thing must go up. If you think the kind of amount is outrageous, but you agree that at least the price can go up a little bit, right?
Oh, I don't think the price should go up now. Haven't gone up in May. This is less than 8 months. May, June, July, August. So those are barely 5 months since they came to us for tariff increment. I don't think it should go up. I think we should do the right thing. And when we see that the right thing is done, when we see that these service providers care so much about Ghanaians, then we shall start considering or discussing the issue of tariff increment. Until that is done, I, for one, will not support tariff increment in any way.
Okay, Papani, what part of the IMF deal was to get quarterly review of tariffs and all that. So perhaps you're going to see a lot of these and all that. What do you think is the balancing act? What should happen between? PURC is going to be looking at this. They're going to be looking at the public sentiments. Look at Parliament. The chairman says, listen, we don't support this. Obviously, they don't have a role in this because this does not go to Parliament. PURC would have to do their job. But they have to look at the public sentiment if they are so minded. What is the balancing act to be done?
So, we know, for instance, that in the last major tariff adjustment, major again, not the regular quarterly adjustment, which is what we are going into actually, is a major tariff adjustment. In that one, PURC for that same component, not PURC, Ghana Water and Electricity Company of Ghana specifically, asked for a 37% increment in the DSE one. What they got was 17. Now that currently stands around 19, right? So maybe that's exactly what's going to happen. PURC is going to be striking maybe an average or in between thereabout to see what they can do. I don't think it should be what the Energy Committee is saying, that it's a no. I think that even if you politicize this in any way, right, this is the best time for any government in your first year to actually do some of these radical things and to push people through. By 3 years, they would have forgotten that there's somebody actually paying for electricity. Ghanaians should listen to the plea of these utility companies. Let us meet them halfway at least. But again, we must be vigilant citizens and be and sign to a bond of good behavior as well. That if I catch Kwaku Asante doing illegal connection, I should report Kwaku Asante. Yeah. If Kwaku Asante is using water, but I know that he doesn't pay water bills, I must report Kwaku Asante. Other than that, all of you on Ghana Water Company, you pay, don't share the losses for you to pay. Happily, I'm not on it. But electricity, I'll pay for it. So I think that that there should be some middle ground that the PURC should be considering, and it shouldn't be an outright rejection. But you've also told you, if you reject these proposals, they're more likely to collapse, for lack of a better word.
Absolutely. So obviously, as we wrap up, Papani has made the point that they need it. Ghana Water Company, they say they need it. If not, at some point you open the tap, there'll be no water, or the water is not going to be good. The balancing act, where do you think we can meet in the middle and deal with some of these?
Yes. Specifically with the Ghana Water Company, I think even with regards to the health issues, for that matter, that's what we are all preaching. We should meet each other halfway. Definitely, the proposal is outrageous. If they can go back, look at the percentage, and probably meet each other halfway, and then get this problem solved once and for all, I think it will help us. And again, with the ECG, I think also the delivery of service matters, because if you are not delivering properly and you are giving this outrageous percentage, the people will definitely be angry or will definitely not be willing to pay. So they should go back to the drawing board, also check their pricing or their percentage properly, and then they should make sure the Ghanaian people are also okay, or they are cushioned enough to bear some of these increments.
So yeah, that conversation is going to go on. A couple of your messages that have come in, and this one says, promised listening to us in Keta, we are already finding things very difficult, and we cannot pay our utility bill, and now they are going to increase it by that much. So are they telling us that we should go our old system of using lantern, or we should go by using our wells, or going to fetch rivers directly to drink? Promise from Keta, thank you very much. This one from Concerned Citizen Solomon. Hello, greetings, Kwaku Asante, Team Joy, and panel members. Please, the politicians should take every year as an election year to make everyone happy. Because whatever we push the ordinary Ghanaians to punish them at the polls, they should think again. Please, PURC, tell ECG and Ghana Water Company Limited to do their homework very well. Concerned Citizen Solomon, thank you. Piper says, fellow Ghanaians cannot be expected to bear the brunt of the inefficiencies and corrupt practices of state agencies. Let those directly responsible for the mess in the ECG and Ghana Water Company Limited pay the price for what they've plunged the nation into. The ordinary Ghanaian is bent over being the burden bearer of the corporate. And then this final one says, good evening, my name is Wisdom. I second a suggestion by the lady in the studio. Both ECG and Ghana Water Company should go back and fix their numerous inefficiencies. They themselves have created a lot of problems, for instance, frustrating new customers who want to be connected to the national grid through their bureaucratic system, selling meters and electric poles instead of making them available for Ghanaians. And then this one from Bobo says, I agree with the registrar. If we agree to any increment, then we should expect 400% in December. Let's solve the Galamsey problem now. Thank you very much, all of you, for sending your message. Thank you very much. Dr. Winfred Koleteba, Health Facilities Regulatory Agency in Ghana, HEFRA. He's a CEO. Thank you very much for coming on. And Achulu Abdul Baki, he's a youth activist. Thank you very much for making the debut on the show. And hopefully we can have you on a couple more occasions. And then Madame Rose Blankson, the rich assistant registrar at the University of Cape Coast, according to Collins. And then Michael Papani Ashali is our colleague here in joining you. So definitely next week we'll bring you another exciting edition of Ghana Connect. My name is Kwaku Asante. I'll see you again, same time.